Sefer HaMitzvos study, going through Sefer HaMitzvos. Supposed to be every day. We're a little bit behind because of Hanukkah and just uh, having a lot of events that are going on, and so I apologize that I'm doing catch up once more. Not everybody likes catch up. I don't know why. All right, so day 293, day 294, 295, and 296. Today being lesson 296. So we're not going to have to go over too many mitzvahs here. In fact, the first one is a repeat. This is the mitzvah to follow the rules of borrowing, which is positive commandment 244. A borrower is liable more than any other, more than a renter, more than a guard, more than even an unpaid guard. A borrower is more liable because they're asking for a favor. I'm pulling a lot of this, by the way, from Rabbi Taub and his explanations of Sefer Mitzvahs as well. I encourage you to go and listen to those as well. I'm no replacement for him, but I was listening to Rabbi Taub, and he was talking about how the borrower has liability over and above the other types, the renters and the guards. And the borrower is, for instance, if a borrower borrows an ox, and during his tenure as the borrower, the ox dies, then he is liable and he must pay back the owner of the ox, unless he borrowed the ox to, for instance, tread out grain, and while he's doing what he was borrowing it to do, meaning he's got the ox and it's treading out the grain, and the ox kicks the bucket while he's, so to speak, while he's treading out the grain with the ox. The ox dies, then he's not liable because he was using it for the purpose that he borrowed it for. So if you're using it for the purpose that it was borrowed for, and it dies, then you are, as a borrower, you are not liable. Other than that, though, you are liable for the expiration of the animal or the item that you've borrowed. All right, so now day 294. We're moving on to a new mitzvah. This is positive commandment 242, and this is the positive commandment to follow the rules of an unpaid watchman. So a watchman who, for instance, it's like a guy saying, "Hey, I'm running into the bank. Would you mind watching my bike outside?" And he's leaving his bike unlocked or something. So, so this person is just like, agrees to be to watch it for you for free. And this person is not so liable because they've got you're not paying them to do it. So this comes from Exodus 22:6. It says, if a man gives his neighbor money or vessels to watch, etc. So we're obligated to follow the laws that are outlined in the Torah regarding an unpaid guard. That is positive commandment 242. So now we're moving on to yesterday, which was day 295, and there are two mitzvahs. Positive commandment 197, the mitzvah regarding lending money. So this comes from Exodus 22:24. It says, if you lend money to my people, the poor among you, etc. So we're commanded to lend money to the poor in order to help relieve them and ease their burden. This mitzvah is even greater than that of giving charity. So for one who has already reached this point at which he has to openly ask for money is less bothered and pained by having to ask for assistance than one who has not yet reached that level. He therefore needs assistance to keep his situation from being known and reaching such a level. So we're actually supposed to be, looking for people who are in need. So when somebody is impoverished, they are destitute, they're in need, we are to lend to them. All right. Next is negative commandment 234, which is demanding a payment of a loan from a destitute borrower. We are not to do so. This is negative commandment 234, and it comes from Exodus 22, verse 24, which says, "You shall not be to him as a creditor," meaning a creditor would come to him and say, "Hey, I loaned you money, give it back." It's forbidden to demand payment of a debt from a borrower if the lender is aware that the borrower does not have the means to repay. It's even forbidden for the lender to pass before the borrower, lest his presence and therefore the acute awareness that he owes money bring him shame. So you're not even supposed to bring him shame regarding the money, even indirectly. Demanding repayment of a debt that includes interest is also included in this prohibition. We're not supposed to charge interest specifically. The Torah says specifically of a Jewish person, you're not allowed to collect interest on a loan. A loan should be given freely. And that is what the Torah, the Bible, says regarding a Jewish person and another Jewish person. So I'm going to address that here in just a moment, a little bit further. So this is today, 296, day 296, Positive Commandment 142 says, "From the foreigner you shall pursue a debt." Deuteronomy 15:13. This is Positive Commandment 142. So this means what this is coming to say is that you do ask for the money back if that person, if you're a Jew and that other person's not a Jew, you do ask for it back. It's irresponsible to have yourself be in debt. You should ask for that money back. This is the normal thing. The thing is that this is not. And by the way, this commandment only applies to a Gentile who has not accepted upon themselves the observance of the 7 laws of Noah. So if that person has received upon themselves that they're going to be observant of those, including not being idolaters, etc., then once they have, then this can't be done also for them. Which I would say that most a lot of people today they do comply with those. In any case, but it's an official thing. In any case, the normal way of the world is if you think about it as yourself. Let's leave Jew and Gentile out of this for a moment. If you are a Gentile and you've loaned money to someone, of course you want that money back eventually. You don't want to go to this person and then say over and over, I don't have it. Come back on Tuesday, whatever. That's eventually you just say, I'm never loaning to you again, and you're telling all your friends, don't ever, take or give money to that guy or whatever. It's normal to ask for a debt back, and even to press for a debt back if you know that he has the means. And if that person is taking a long time, whatever you start adding on some interest. Say, hey, you were supposed to pay me a year ago. Um, we're going to start doing 10% interest now or whatever, 20-30% interest. Credit cards are pretty ridiculous. Uh, you go a day over, and all of a sudden you're paying like, double what you actually owed. In any case, that's the normal thing to do when somebody is borrowing from you. The Torah comes and says, if you're a Jew, you can't do that to another Jew, or even to a Gentile who has accepted upon themselves the laws of Noah, the Noahide commandments. And so it's actually a mitzvah that comes to protect the person who is borrowing. But they also have mitzvahs for themselves that they are supposed to pay it back, and that they're not to withhold the funds that are due to the other person. So in any case, this is something that is often brought up, as a negative against Jewish people. That thank you, Happy Hanukkah. Brought up against Jewish people because they can charge interest of non-Jews or ask for the debt back, whereas we're not permitted to do so with Jews on either of those cases. But we would do it to them if the Torah, the Bible, if God didn't say that we were not supposed to. And if we're honest, everybody else would too. If you have a family member and they are asking for a loan from you, and you give them a loan, and they're a family member, you are less likely that you are going to charge interest, and you're less likely to demand that loan back. So this is all actually really about family. We don't charge interest to family, and we don't press people with debt in order to, if they're family. And so the Jewish people consider themselves of all one family, and that also extends to those people who've accepted God as their God. All right. And their authority. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a great night. Be blessed, and happy Hanukkah. Happy final night of Hanukkah. Bye-bye.